What is happening, everybody? Big Jew here. Since my roommate's gone, I'm going to do a quick video here. This is my 1000th upload, and I'm going to admit, I'm going to put myself at a little bit of a risk here, and get a little bit personal. It's not going to be that personal, but it's a continuation in my series I started last week, which is called Hardcase, which is directed towards those who are approaching my age and they're still not really experienced with dating and stuff like that, and they're very nervous about it, and I want to try and help them and stuff like that. And in the last video I was talking about how guys like this are approval seeking most of the time, but they don't know it. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna shift the gears a little bit. I'm gonna talk a little bit less about knowledge of self and more about what skills that you might need to acquire for a straight guy who is inexperienced, who is also older, to meet the kind of women that he wants to meet. And that's pretty much how this series is going to be. It's going to revolve around knowledge of self, skills like social skills, flirting skills, that kind of stuff, and how to expand as a person and stuff like that. This is going to be about social skills, and well, it's not about social skills, it's more about flirting skills. I'm going to reveal how I flirt with women that I potentially want to date in the future. And having come off a date that I was just on a couple days ago, I can tell you, like, when I want to get a date and when I want to go somewhere on a date with a woman, when I want to escalate it to where I can possibly have sex with said woman, I know how to do it. So, and I'm going to give those of you who are interested what I do to get that kind of result. First thing I realized is that I did a video earlier or later last year about the fundamentals of socializing. This is a response to it, so if you haven't watched that video, you can go ahead and watch that one first and then come back here. You gotta know these. You gotta know these cold. You gotta know how to socialize with people before you can even think about flirting with women, because women sense nervousness, and when you're nervous, women don't like that, because, not to get too theoretical here, but women like to feel protected. That's just an evolutionary, that's just hardwired into their brains evolutionarily. That's just how it is. They're just wired that way. And I could go into, give you a big history lesson on that, but I'm not going to do that. But just learn how to socialize, learn how to stop being nervous around people. That's one of the most important things. And in the fundamentals of socializing, I was saying that you have about 10 seconds to go from just looking at somebody before walking up and talking to them, right? When it comes to flirting with women, and this is for heterosexual males, by the way, if you're a woman or if you're a gay person, then this isn't really going to apply. So when it comes to flirting with women, or even trying to talk to one so you could possibly date her, you don't have that much time. You have even less time to do what RSD calls show intent. What's show intent? Show intent means walking up and starting a conversation. It means getting physical, like giving her a hug or a kiss or something like that, or trying to hold her hand. You have 5 seconds max to go from thinking about it to doing it. If you wait any longer than 5 seconds, and I scientifically proved this, okay, I used to actually, like a scientist, I would actually go out and meet women, go out to the bar, maybe do something during the day, and I would actually chart how long it took for me to go from thinking about showing intent to actually showing intent. And the times when I waited a lot less worked out a lot better. When I worked out longer, didn't work out at all. So, yeah. Number 3, about the permission thing. Okay, RSD also preaches this a lot. A lot of this stuff is stuff that they preach in RSD. I'm just putting a personal spin on it. You have to assume that a woman is going to give you permission to show intent. But just to clarify, this way it's not awkward. This way you're not just like silently grabbing her hand and holding it. Which actually is fine with the hand holding, that's kind of natural. But when it comes to giving her a hug or a peck on the cheek or something like that, you kind of need to bring it up before doing it, but you don't want to ask for permission at the same time. Let's say I see a girl that I like and I want to give her a hug, so I can show intent. So what I'll do is I'll just walk up to her, I'll be like, hey, what's up? And I will just hold up my arms and do like a non-verbal thing, like bring it in. Or I'll just be like, or I'll vocalize it, I'll be like, hugs? You know what I mean? But I won't be like, can I give you a hug? Or like, when the whole kissing thing, okay, a lot of guys don't know how to kiss a woman. They don't know how to bring that up. They just kind of go for it and it's really awkward. That's how I used to be about 10 or so years ago. I'll ask, what I'll do when I want to kiss a girl, I'll hold her by the hands and I'll say her name and I'll be like, do you want to kiss me? And that kind of stuff. Make sure you look into their eyes too. Eye contact's a big thing when it comes to talking to women. If you can't hold eye contact with a woman, you call yourself gone. It's over. It is over. Okay? So, you know, just like bring up the intent that you want to show, but don't ask for permission, because asking for permission is very weak. Okay? Number 4, and I was talking about this in my socializing video, about being friendly, mature, and cool, and being yourself, and speaking your mind, and just being who you are as a person. I didn't know it, but back when I was a teenager, I made fun of a lot of stuff, and I was doing it for attention, but it was also what was on my mind. I really did think that cheerleaders were dumb and slutty. I really did think that jocks were just, you know, like these like meathead douchebags who didn't even know how to cook. You know what I mean? I really did think that everyone in my school was a spoiled little, you know, brat who didn't know how to, you know, who wouldn't know what to do if they came home to no parents. You know what I mean? But I was hating more than making fun. But I was still making fun of people. You know what I mean? Little did I know that that was who I really was. I really am that cynical, a-hole kind of guy. And I say this on my dates a lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm a big jerk, you know, I'm a jerk, I'm a bully, I'm a horn dog, you know, I'm that kind of stuff. I'm not going to hold back. But you have to be cool about it. You can't be too unfiltered, because that will scare people. Okay? You can be unfiltered, but that takes a lot of skill. A buddy of mine, one of my bowling buddies, actually does that very well, but he is an exception. There are people who are exceptions, and there are people who try to be the exception but fail. Okay, I used to try to be the exception, but I failed. Why? Because I was seeking attention. But I will still make fun. If I meet a girl for the first time and I see she's wearing something really, you know, like outlandish and revealing, like let's say she's wearing like really short shorts, you know, I'll look at her, I'll be like, yeah, Hooters is that way. And I'll be like, no, I'm just joking. Jokes. You know what I mean? If she gets offended, more often than not, she'll just laugh. She'll be like, yeah, they're kind of shorter, but whatever. But then she'll be like, I'm showing off, don't you like it? I'll be like, I suppose. I guess. You know? And I'll be friendly, mature, and cool. But I'll be speaking my mind at the same time. When you're speaking your mind, though, you cannot be negative. You cannot be what do you call it? You can't be toxic. You can't be like, man, I really hate this, or this sucks, or whatever. You know, you can't be like begging for that kind of approval in a, what do you call it? In a indirect way. You just cannot do it. It's not going to slide. It's not going to slide because women don't like it. They don't like toxic people. You want to know why? Because they toxify each other with the stuff that they bitch about. Okay? Everyone does this. This is just a human thing. No one likes a toxic person. So if you have something on your mind that's negative and toxic, try and reform it to where it sounds kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like let's say it's been raining all day. and you don't like it, you know? You can't just walk up to a girl and be like, man, I hate this weather. This weather is awful. It's so demotivating. Can't this weather just go away? Can it just not go away? You can't say that, because you'll be complaining. What you can do is you can be like, you can kind of make fun of the weather. You can kind of be like, you can kind of be like, God, I love how it's been raining for like 8 hours. You know what I mean? Love it. It's amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you could be like, well, I'm glad I'm not driving with hydroplaning all over the place in my car. That'd be awful. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So there you go. Number 5, yeah, and if there's something on your mind during a date, or if you're meeting, or if you're just talking to a girl, and you really need to just get it off your chest, and it's making you feel nervous, say it. Especially if you are nervous. You know what I mean? I used to do that. Well, if I feel this way, I will say this. If I'm nervous on a date or something like that, and if I don't say it, then I'm screwed. Then it's over. There was one date where I went on during the summer last year, where it just did not work out, and that was because I felt like there was pressure, because it was a setup. The bowling buddy I was talking about earlier, he hooked me up, and this was a woman who I didn't really know, and I kind of felt pressured to have sex with her, and it really wasn't. Oh, I was betraying my fundamentals, and I really wanted to say that. I wanted to say to her, I wanted to be like, look, I'm not usually this way. I kind of feel pressured because this is only a second time meeting, and I still don't really know you that well. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit nervous. How about we cut this short, and how about let's just make another date where we can meet somewhere else, where we can actually get to know each other and make a nice little date night out of it, and just cut this short. That's what I wanted to do. But I didn't say that. But if I were to say that, I probably would have saved it. You know what I mean? If you're feeling nervous in front of a woman and you're talking to her, it's quite alright to just vocalize it. As long as you can make it, you know, friendly and mature. You know what I mean? You won't be cool. You can't really make anything cool out of that. You can't be like, man, you know, I'm trying, or it's hard for me to do that. I can't even think of a clever little line to say that, instead of just like, instead of like, you know, I'm gonna be real honest, I feel pretty nervous right now. I'm gonna be okay, but I'm just letting you know. So if I act a little weird, I'm sorry. It's not me. I'm just a little bit nervous. It'll go away. I promise. You know what I mean? That's how you be honest. And of course, I'm going to go into this later, you got to be ready for the outcome. You got to be ready to get shot down from that kind of thing. Because you will. Especially if you're nervous. If you're nervous, you get shot down. It's that simple. You got to know that one form of affection leads to another. What do I mean by this? But you can't go too far with it, okay? RSD will argue otherwise, but it's never worked out for me. Maybe because I'm not as seasoned as they are when it comes to going out and meeting women and going on dates and stuff like that. But I've always figured, I always saw it as, you know, if you can give a girl a hug, you can peck her on the cheek. You can peck her on the cheek. When you peck her on the cheek, you can hold her hands. When you hold her hands, you can peck her on the mouth. When you peck her on the mouth, you can hold her close to you. When you hold her close to you, you can kiss her for a few seconds, and so on and so forth. When you kiss her, you can hold her hands some more, and then maybe you can hold hands and kiss, and then it's usually when the sex begins, for me, anyways. So, yeah. One thing leads to another when it comes to physical forms of affection. And don't forget, you gotta wait less than 5 seconds to go from thinking about doing said thing to actually going for it. And like I said, if you go for it and get shot down, do not take it personally. It just means that you weren't what they call calibrated. You weren't, you just, something didn't click, and there was like a shred of nervousness in between that 5-second window. Okay? And last but not least, how to ask a woman out. So many guys do not know how to do this, and this is scary. And I used to be one of them. Okay, I used to like kill myself about it for days on end, for years on end. I used to be like, man, how come I can't get a date? Every time I ask a girl out, she always says maybe or no. That's because it wasn't specific enough. On the date that I went out Thursday, this was a girl who I met at my job. This is a woman who I met at my job, who I guess kind of liked me, but I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's just, you know, I wanted to go out with her because I thought she was cool. So I'm like, alright, let's ask her out. So I was like, okay, look, are you doing anything Thursday night? She said no. I'm like, okay, cool, check this out. A bunch of my bowling buddies and I, we go and we practice after league at our local bowling alley. I'm not going to say what it is because, why? So we practice at our bowling alley at about 9 at night. Are you doing anything then? Because I'd love to take you there, take you bowling with us. I think you'd really like it. Do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know, let me give you my Facebook, and let me give you my number, and we'll try and make plans. And we made the plans, and we went. Be specific about asking a girl out. Don't just be like, man, don't just be like, do you want to go out sometime? I'd like it if we went for coffee. You know what I mean? How many women do you think hear that on a probably daily basis? A lot. Don't be like that. Be specific. Be like, look, I want to meet you for coffee. What are you doing at like 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon? And then just be like, look, I'm going to be doing some laundry. When I get done with laundry, I'm probably going to be hungry. How about we do lunch at I don't know what a good place to take a lunch or dinner date to is, because I don't really do that. My dates usually involve bowling or pool. That's about it. Something physical, because it's more fun that way. It's not as boring. It's not like blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, it's boring. But you know, you just gotta be specific when you ask a girl out. Very, very key. So, there you go. That's my fundamentals of flirting, and we'll say, I don't know what to call it. Relating man to woman. That's what they call it in Real Social Dynamics. I'm going to be going over that. Also, I'm going to be going over a whole bunch of stuff. This is only the second video in a video of 13. So there we go. Alright, nice. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And awesome, 1,000 videos. Hope for 1,000 more, which will probably never end. I thought I was going to be done with this. I thought I was going to be bored with making videos, but apparently not. It's a really cool hobby for me. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope any of you inexperienced guys out there can take something away from this, and hopefully it makes the dance of mating or dance of courtship make more sense. I owe a lot to Real Social Dynamics, because a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about is stuff that they mention in their lectures. So be sure to check them out, rsdnation.com, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, peace.